Oh, yo, high five! Almost. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Nonstop Surf. Welcome to the channel. My name is Tyler and I have been surfing for a very short amount of time, but I wanted to make this channel to inspire other people who want to get into surfing, who've never done it before. Maybe they've tried it a few times in the past, or they're advanced and maybe you've been surfing for a long time and you want to watch somebody like me progress and get better and just have fun. So happy you're here. Today we're going to talk about a few things. One is, well, no, we're going to talk about one thing. What am I talking about? We're only going to talk about one thing today, and that is my very first board that I bought that got me into surfing. It is the Wavestorm. Oh my God, I hit my microphone. The Wavestorm. Look at this thing. It's right here next to me. I also have my Catch Surf Skipper over here. We're not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about that another time. Let's go over everything from the beginning. In July, I took my very first surfing lesson. I'll probably show you a picture here shortly, and got my first wetsuit. And I was stoked. I was totally stoked. I mean, the conditions were horrible, and I got up on maybe one or two little foam waves riding a Jerry Lopez 8-footer, but I said, I'm sold. I got to do this again. I got to get better at it, and I have been obsessed ever since. I mean, I haven't been excited about something like this in a long, long time. I ended up buying my first board. It was around 240 bucks. Now, most Wavestorms you could find for cheaper. This is an 8-footer. If you're brand new to this sport, I probably recommend getting a 9-footer. In fact, it probably would have been a little easier for me. Overall, I think it's a great board. And if you're brand new to surfing, this is awesome. It's a foam board, so it's not fiberglass. It's not going to hit you in the head and give you a concussion if you wipe out on a wave. And other surfers don't have to worry about you in the lineup as well. Now, when I got the board, it came with like a sock, which was nice, so I could actually keep it safe. It also came with 2 fin setups. It came with a thruster setup, which is a tri-fin, so you have 3 little fins, and that was great for just learning. I'm using the single fin setup right now, which is the alternate setup. It's kind of like the traditional longboard setup, I believe. So you can see it behind me right here. It definitely has some use. I've used it for at least 20 sessions minimum, and I've been doing this for about, I would say 3 months roughly. It's been great, honestly. I love it. I definitely recommend getting a little bit of like soft board wax on days where you're still learning, you want a little more traction and stuff, because I found myself slipping a little bit. It's not the end of the world if you don't use wax, but for me, it definitely helped getting some soft board wax. I'll put a link in the description for some wax recommendations. I used the Catch Surf wax, which definitely helped. And it came with a leash as well. Setting it up, super easy, never had a problem with it. I didn't even need a tool. I just had to put a quarter in and, you know, twist these little fins in there, and I was good to go. What I thought was really cool too was that the Wavestorm board came with an instruction manual on how to set up your board and how to surf. It doesn't just tell you how to surf, it teaches you surfing etiquette. And I think that's great because, as you know, for more advanced surfers, you don't like getting dropped in on, especially by a new surfer. It ruins your wave, it ruins your experience. If you're riding a Wavestorm right now, you should be reading your instruction manual. If you didn't get one, let me know, but I definitely got one. I thought that was super cool. If I could break it out later, I'll break it out and show you guys. I like that there's some encouragement for beginners on like how to get out there. So it can be scary, as you know. In terms of rideability, it's awesome. It catches a ton of waves. In fact, I brought it out last weekend for a session because I knew the waves were going to be small. I caught a ton of waves, had a ton of fun, totally worth it. And this thing paddles like a beast, like you wouldn't believe. I mean, 3 strokes, 4 strokes, I'm in the wave. It's awesome. It is kind of like steering a ship, so you got to get used to just steering a big boat around, you know. You got to kind of pick your board up when you're ready to turn and burn and catch a wave, but with a little bit of practice it becomes pretty easy. I definitely got another lesson with this board, which helped me a little bit, but at the end of the day, if you're just learning to surf, within a couple months or so, you'll be getting up on waves, you'll be catching them in no time. So if you're thinking about getting a brand new board, I highly recommend this. I'm trying to think about cons for this board. You know, I think maybe there's going to be a point when you're ready to progress to a different type of board. Maybe you want to get a fiberglass longboard, maybe you want to get a shorter board, you want to get like a mid-length or a step up. Maybe you're looking to transition to a shorter board, then yeah, you're going to want to move on. But for those smaller days, keep this around. It's going to be super helpful. I'm not getting rid of mine anytime soon. Transporting this thing around could be kind of a beast. It fits in my car, but I'm still kind of having to crank my head around. Trying to think of what else. I mean, honestly, I don't know if there's really a lot of cons to this. I feel like image-wise, people look at Wavestorms and they say, you know, if you ride Wavestorms, you're a kook. But I've seen people out there in the lineup on these things totally ripping. It's more about how much fun you're having, and if you're progressing, then your board's not gonna matter as much most of the time. You can take this out in just about anything and catch a wave, which is really cool. Now, how does it compare to like the Catch Surf Log, the Jerry Lopez boards? They're all pretty similar. You know, if you get one of those boards, you're gonna have a good time. I feel like the Jerry Lopez boards might be a little bit thinner than this one. This one's a little bit wider. So yeah, the Jerry Lopez ones might be a little more narrow, but they're great boards too. And the Catch surfboards are great as well. If you're like a super beginner and your biggest challenge is gonna be getting up on the board and popping up without falling over, you might want to look at maybe getting a little bit wider of a board if you can, especially if you're like super beginner. But if you're feeling pretty confident and you're pretty athletic, this will be fine. Other than that, I feel like in the future, I'm gonna keep surfing this. I'm probably gonna film some sessions using it, and you're gonna see some footage of me still having fun on a Wavestorm because I think it's cool. It's great to be a kook. That might be my tagline, actually. It's great to be a kook. Welcome to Nonstop Surf. That's gonna be my new tagline. Okay, so we're learning things as we go. This is my first time doing a review for anything surf related. As you can tell, I'm super excited. I hope you guys found this useful, found this helpful. Let me know in the comments what your experience has been like with the Wavestorm board, if you've had one before, and tell me what you think. If you think they're good boards, if you think they're bad, let me know. I'd be curious to hear what your thoughts are. So thanks so much for watching Nonstop Surf. It's great to be a kook.